then the Aurora is just going to be a lane bully into almost any matchup there in the mid lane. The answering Ornn, they already were prepared. They have the Trundle pick themselves. They can just lock this one in. It's considered a counter to the Rumble. No way.
That's LeBlanc.
LeBlanc, long time no see on this pick. And man, I have to say it, I have to be honest, I feel like this LeBlanc pick doesn't fit the identity of this comp in really any way to me. You're strong into the Rumble, you're strong into the squishy Renata, if you can isolate her, maybe even if you find Vi in a scenario where if you're ahead.
Too much more going to happen.
Electrocute proc, the name of the game in this mid lane matchup. Lebrov's going to get the crash down.
Yeah, crash down coming on through there. It's the logistics protocol actually picked up from On, so not able to shake anyone's hand right now. Things right. So that was right. So he absolutely.
Bejuan, though, is coming up here. Broken Blade.
Okay. Well, the face melter might actually come on through here as Broken Blade going to get punished for his great performance. That flash
was
the right one. It absolutely was. He still has to use flash, right? His knight is dead. What? Huh?
Yeah, I'm going to need to see a little bit of a replay.
That's why Bin paused. He's like, what the hell? That shouldn't have happened. Great knock-up here from Broken Blade as well as his army of minions comes on in. And the aggression continues here as Lebrov's having to flash away from Elk and On here on this bottom lane. And Caps looking for a bit of an angle, and my god, that is so much damage. He actually decides to go back in, though.
That was the reason why Caps does this is because he has TP advantage, so he wants to get as much damage done as possible before he just TPs back.
Oh, the flash out is On actually.
They killed Knight for somehow mysteriously when Knight was on Raptors. I don't know. We'll get back to that later. But then Caps was able to trade with him and then TP back in here, so has a pretty significant health advantage. You can see how he's trading here, how aggressively he knows he's in control of this lane and the wave state that's there. Like, Knight is struggling to play the game. Bejuan over here is going to take a Gromp in return, I suppose, but maybe not.
Yeah, they know that he's here, and Broken Blade going to move on up as well. There's a lot of stuff here on the ground, and Bejuan, he flashed, but where are we flashing to?
This is such a weird start to this game, and it's not good for BLG, I'll tell you guys.
I would put it in the cons column, Wolf. I'm going to put that one in the cons column. Cap's going to be able to pick up that kill. He is on 300 health, at least. Bejuan was able to do some damage back. The European special in the tree. And has now continued that momentum forward onto this early game play with the Trundle. Here's a crash down as Bejuan, great angle, handshake is going to be there to put Lebrov down. But unfortunately, the bailout doesn't happen early enough, so they're unable to benefit from that. Yeah, Knight coming on through. Oh, that pillar placement was absolutely gorgeous. Skirmishes still wanting to try and mess with this one, though. Does have the Subjugate available, but it is capped. The Null Magic Mantle isn't a dress. I always kind of thought it was the kill. As now Elk could be in trouble. Ram is just going to crash into him. You can see Caps bouncing back. Did employ the ultimate, but that, of course, is one of the lowest cooldown ultimates in the game.
Knight
so that is
still low.
Yeah, exactly right. Lebrov making his way in. And oh, the crash down Magnet Storm. Not going to allow him to bounce through that circle at all.
Man, and they could just turn this into a Dragon Take, but they're going to get plates first. 20 seconds until that Infernal spawns.
Oh my goodness. Well, there's the equalizer down. Flash out from Skirmishes immediately to make sure that he isn't burnt to a crisp. And with the chains, that is going to deny any follow-up here as On moving in. The Dragon is going to spawn like you were talking about. Caps looking for that low health bar on Bejuan. The flash forward and Caps picks up the kill. Gets himself all the way back and actually just takes them on a merry jaunt around the rift and is going to be absolutely fine. The hostile takeover not doing too much here, but Skirmishes will get shut down by Bin, who has a big flamethrower and doesn't really like all the funny business that's been going on.
They're looking for the kill onto Caps here.
Yeah, there is Knight flashing forward, manages to take down Caps here, and BLG will be able to answer very, very nicely. Maybe a slight overstep as Elk looking to try and take down Lebrov. Doesn't necessarily have a massive amount of damage.
Broken Blade didn't have TP, but is getting a lot of push in that top lane all the while, so they take the objective and take a kill back.
They do. Now Bin is in a bit of trouble. Does throw down the equalizer to try and get some damage onto Skirmishes, but this time he has all of his buttons available, and in fact, even invests the Subjugate against Bin. Really didn't want to die and didn't want Bin to get away. That is going to be successful as now Lebrov and Skumon looking to wrap around once again as Beishuan is here towards his top side. The Mega Cone going to bring them in. There's the Magnet Storm, but Beishuan able to get himself out of the way because the focus is on this turret. That is going to be feats of strength going over to G2, but can they keep themselves alive as the rest of the BLG cavalry turns up? The Fate's Call was optimistic at best, and they do manage to take down the Trundle.
They could just collapse on her and kill her, and they get the turret as well.
All right, well, an equalizer goes down as Caps was trying to keep that chain in position. That was gorgeous, though, as Broken Blade comes in and says, thank you very much for all that work you've done, Caps. You can get out of here now, and the G2 fans feeling pretty happy about how this game has headed over the last little while as On going to get stunned up. There's a Magnet Storm once again as he flashes to get himself out of the way. And
I mean, the gold lead just gets bigger and bigger. Looks like it might not quite go down just yet.
Yeah, Valkyrie going to come on through here as the Fate's Call is going to be the attempt. But now Lebrov in perfect position. They managed to get this pillar down as well in a great spot. As Elk not going to need the bailout because he just pulls all the sticks from this troll and takes him down. Hans Sommer also going to be executed by Knight. Skumon is just smacking it. And now they're going to look for the turn. The Ram coming on through here as the knockoff is only going to be used onto Bin because they didn't need it for the top side of the fight. The equalizer goes down, but Bin not quite getting the value that he's looking for. And G2 drawing first blood in the fight, now looking for another one. The three-man on that Magnet Storm is beautiful, and down goes Beishuan. This is not his game today.
He ultimately just has to flash out, and this is a huge win here. Is look at how little control goes over to the side of BLG here. Like, LeBlanc is flanking. Caps gets the initial kill here on the Renata off of the start. And then they're just so split up. Like, yes, the Aurora is going to show up here to try to bail out this fight, but it's just too late. Can't actually get in. And then they look for the turn here with the Magnet Storm, and it's just a flash from Knight out. Vi goes down. And it's a huge
that one I'm not silly about.
I thought it was a utility build, but I don't know.
And Triforce is obviously a misbuilt fan. As G2 do get the knock up here onto On, but he does have the hostile takeover. That's used only onto Broken Blade, though, who is looking borderline immortal at this point in time.
I mean,
Bin
get the TP.
Getting in there with the teleport. You're exactly right. Equalizer and a choke point is normally good, but Caps goes in, gets a distortion over everyone, and look at them. They're all grouped up in G2, turning their own situation against them, as the Magnet Storm only onto one isn't necessarily what they want, but it's Elk who has to use a fair bit to try and get himself out of there. All of the health bars on the Rift are so extraordinarily low.
Contact streak here for G2. They should not overextend into this.
Yep, the Mana Zane actually completed here as well for Hans Sommer, just in the nick of time as On is taken so low. Fate's Call going to be used though, and we'll see whether BLG can get the turnaround as they do decide to throw him in on top of Broken Blade, and the bailout does absolutely nothing. The on-horn! BB's a god today! And down they all go. G2 are looking at semifinals.
I mean, Hans Sommer was so far away. He also had his Valkyrie available. Like, you're not going to get him. You're not going to get Caps on the LeBlanc. So
Dylan Falco actually reacted to that one that time as down goes Beishuan yet again as we hop out of the replay, and we all remember game one. Still, they're just going to make sure that BLG cannot get anywhere near this pit, and things are very, very dark on the Rift right now as Caps gets off towards the side. Knight is discovered by the LeBlanc as the On is going to get so much CC down. Bin is just melting as Caps goes golden, flashes out of the way of the buttons that Knight is trying to put down, and another array of skills comes in. Beautifully played in the mid-off.
E2's franchise player says, I am better today in this final game, in this wild card pick of the LeBlanc, as we have a fight for the Baron.
This is getting a little bit messy now as the cease and desist comes in. Beishuan is going to take the exit and now going to look to go back as Cap says, no Elk, you're not allowed to play the game. It's okay, just a rocket from downtown as Hans Sommer did see him go into that brush on the control ward, and they take down the Baron. G2 going to follow Bin to his base, I think, and look to try and take down at least an inhibitor turret. Phenomenal pillages there as we saw as G2 looking to just clean up the scraps.
I mean, these are some really long death timers. They can get some serious base damage done here.
They really can. On going to flash out of the way of the Ornhorn, but I don't think that's going to save him. The handshake is going to be top of the morning to your Caps as then he goes down. Knight also not going to get bailed out of this one. And G2 really come alive here in these last two games.
It's a
the
big
reverse
wave.
sweep, or at least the mini one.
Yeah.
This best of three as they will break the base.
It's a big wave. Elk is going to be the first to respawn here, but he alone is not going to be able to defend this push. I mean, I think it's going to be really hard. No Rumble, Equalizer up in 15. They're going to make a play for it.
Yep, and they have no money either. It has ballooned to a 10,000 gold lead with the Baron available as well. These minions so difficult to get through. And Elk, he can do nothing. Look at BB's face, man. There are just grins from ear to ear on G2. And they will be able to take down BLG after being swept at MSI.
Well, the good thing about Esports World Cup is that when you win an elimination match, you get to crush your opponent's key. Just tell me how you feel right now.
It's going to be my first time, so I'm looking forward for it.
All right.
Am I doing it?
Yeah, absolutely you're doing it. Let's go to the key crush machine and just let you know that you have just guaranteed $160,000 in the bag. So I'll just let you have this moment for yourself.